boys at the back. There is one of them actually in the middle of the pack, currently lying second in the championship, and we've already seen John Mickle, and he will carry one of 3 onboard cameras with us this weekend. Red lights are on, we're waiting for a green. Who will get the best of starts? And away we go, and they all scramble like fury for grip as they change up through that sequential 5-speed motorcycle gearbox. And Steve Thompson in 41 trying to go through the middle of Gary Thomas on the inside, and his teammate in number 2, Tick Stewart, already crowned champion. There's Peter Morton. Mark Hobbs is in 3, and Lisa Morgan leading a trail for her teammate John Mickle. Everybody, by some miracle, minor as it is, through Redgate safely. Oh, and a big bang there for John Mickle. That Simon Durrell has given John Mickle a real massive thump in the rear end. Well, I hope that hasn't unsettled either of their cars, but you can see if you're in the middle there, the view that you've got is, well, obscure to say the least. The spray that's chucked up by these big, hard compound tyres proving difficult to see through. Rob Fountain has managed to hold on to his position. Simon, oh, the spinner there as we, oh dear, Gary Maloney's had his rear wing taken right off him. The spinner there down at the Old Hairpin, and that was collected by Alan Liddy. But out front, great bit of driving by Steve Thompson. He's already found his way through to lead this race as they come out on McLean's. There is Gary Thomas scrambling for grip. Peter Morton and Darren Hills. Hills is carrying another of our cameras. Great to see him back after a little bit of regrouping for him during recent meetings, but everybody safely on it, and Ian Sturt is making good, steady progress. The 54 car, of course, Sturt still trying to wrestle away that Rookie of the Year crown from his arch rival Rob Fountain. And talking about Fountain, that's Chris Fountain in the other blue car there, slowing dramatically on the main straight. Looks like he's got some sort of terminal problem. But side by side, Yorkshireman Peter Morton, and on the outside of him, Gary Thomas, and Morton trying to take that position away. The first 2 have gone through. This is the battle for 3rd and 4th. There is 5th and 6th, and we ride on board in 5th place with Darren Hills. Peter Morton, look at him there, bouncing up over the curves. Good, tidy line by Darren Hills. You can see the correction of the oversteer, and that's what cost him the place. Ian Sturt in the Avondale Racing Prep car goes flying through, and he will now start to hunt down Gary Thomas and Peter Morton, those 2 locked together. Further back, where is John Mickle? Well, let's just have a look at, talking of John, that incident involving Gary Maloney. There's Maloney up on the right-hand side, spins around, and he almost takes out Lisa Morgan, and John Mickle does a great job to avoid him. But behind, of course, Alan Lilly had nowhere to go. Now, since then, the number 7 Arco car, just behind Mark Lord there he is, has rejoined, albeit minus his left rear fender, and Chris Fountain retires. Well, it just went past us here, and it sounds absolutely abysmal, that engine. So they've got a bit of work to do between now and the second race. Let's hope they can get that repaired, because Chris, as you may recall, was lying down in 8th place in the championship and set himself the goal of finishing in the top 10. So out of McLean's and up to Coppice they come. Here's Peter Morton leading Ian Sturt. This is shaping up to be a great battle. Gary Thomas is the 3rd car in that trio. This is the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th place. We ride on board again with Darren Hills in 6th, and you can see there, oh, and Hills, he runs a little bit wide. He just tippy-toed onto the green stuff there, and look at the car's understeering like Billio. Mark Hobbs trying to get his car pointing in the right direction. Up ahead of him, Ian Kirk was having a bit of a dabble as well to try and get some turning going on. They've fiddled about with these cars to soften them up. They can soften up the suspension, and that means that the car will get a little bit more grip out of the tyre. If they run them hard, then it can be very, very tricky indeed. We're on board again with John Mickle. Now, Mickle said earlier on, remember, he was going to drive a fairly conservative race. He's doing exactly that at the moment. Back way down the order for John in 8th position at the moment. And there is Ian Sturt. Sturty's not sparing the horses, is he? He wants that position off Peter Morton. Morton will fight him back. These 2 have been some of the great characters, but right out front, that's where he wants to be. Steve Thompson had a win earlier at Brands Hatch in the middle of the season, wants another one here. He's on target for that. He's got Tick, his teammate, protecting his rear end. Well, maybe Tick hasn't got anything for him. Who am I to say? Now, what's Darren Hills doing? There's the battle up ahead for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Hills' target up ahead of him is Gary Thomas. Gary, as I mentioned, has shared that race tech car, the number 55 car, with his cousin Chris and with his dad Neil. They've also had outings in the 56. But the race tech car, desperately Gary would like to see it with a top 3 finish. That's perhaps a tall order now, but some good strong finishes here would do him. Tick, the 1999 champion, as it says on the rear of the car there. And still further back, Darren Hills. Now, you can see there is just barely the emergence of a drying line, and Hills has missed it there altogether on the into Coppice. We've got Darren trying to recover his position. He stayed really right out wide. I suspect there's a fair amount of grip out there actually. Underneath the bridge he'll come. The engine will scream up to 10,25 revs, and Lisa Morgan tiptoes into the gravel. Dear oh me, Lisa, you know you're not supposed to be in there. Let's join her teammate John. John Mickle drops it down again, coming into the S's, and he lost another place because on the inside of him has gone Rob Fountain. So as they come round to complete their third lap, Rob Fountain moves up ahead. Now then, Alan Lilly, he's having a great old time of it. He joined the Legend Series just 3 or 4 rounds ago, and is looking to be a mainstay of the championship in 2000. There's Ian Kirk, a little mixed up with this 2000 malarkey, but down the Craner curves they come, enjoying it despite the very challenging conditions. But what about John Mickle? Well, he needs to get a bit of a hurry on really. He's still there in 8th place. Rob Fountain up ahead of him is 7th, and Darren Hills ahead of him in 6th place. And just make out those 2 cars through the Merc, through Schwantz Curve, named after the former world motorcycle champion, into McLeans. You can just see them in the distance there, and this great scrap going on. It's been raging fantastically between Ian Sturt there in 54 and Peter Morton behind him. Oh, steady on Darren, he's over the, well, I was about to say over the point of no return, but he gathered it back skillfully, and there he goes. Look at the front right tyre there, and it's cost him, no, he's going to lose that position. So another place picked up there by Rob Fountain, or will he, because Darren Hill goes to the inside of him. Hills has the inside line. Fountain, though, is later on the brakes. Darren thinks, on a point of discretion versus valour, I think I'll opt for the discretion note, and that means that Rob Fountain will complete this 4th lap of the 5. So the leaders already starting their final lap. 2-mile circuit, of course, meaning a reduction in the number of laps that the Legends do. They normally do 10 laps on the mile oval at Mallory for the final, so that's fairly equates to what they're doing here, a 10-mile race. But presently, out front in the 41 car, Steve Thompson is really making a great show of it. Further back in the field in 15th is Gary Maloney in the Arco car, fighting it out with Lisa Morgan. Lisa recovering from her spin, but here is our race leader, and is he on his way to yet another victory? Where are the 3rd and 4th place men? That's where they are. Tick Stewart still, of course, in 2nd place, having a fairly steady ride for him, but half a lap left for these two to sort themselves out. And here goes Ian Sturt to the inside. Sturt will take the position at McLean's, but will he run wide? Peter Morton fighting back, and it's a thumbs up from Ian Sturt, as if to say, Peter, you let me through. Oh dear, Gary, what are you doing? Get off the grass. There's no traction there at all. Gary Maloney will get it back on the tarmac, spin it round skillfully and rejoin, but here comes Steve Thompson out of the S's for the final time, gives it bags of oversteer, the back end hangs out, the checkered flag is in hand, and Tick Stewart's done a 360 out of the S's, but a great drive there from Steve Thompson, and a 1st and 2nd for the Old Spice team. Further back, they're trying to sort out the 5th and 6th places, and that's going to go the way of Rob Fountain. Darren Hills' car doesn't sound too clever coming out that. Actually, now it's picked up the speed it does. Darren Hills will hang on for what will be, in fact, 7th position for him. At the flag, Gary Thomas dropped a place there. They're still fighting it out for 9th and 10th place. Now, Simon Durrell, to me, definitely had a problem. He's gone right the way back to 9th place. Will it be? Nigel Kelsey tries to come back at him. Then absolutely bumper to bumper as they come out the S's. But as you can see from confirmation of the race results, Simon Durrell did hang on for that 9th place ahead of Kelsey in 10th. Steve Thompson, though, 200 points. How valuable is that for him in his quest to beat John Mickle to 2nd in the championship? Mickle, as you see, down in 8th place.
That was absolutely brilliant. I loved every minute of it. Nice to see, like, you know, Tick's already wrapped the championship up, but he was sitting there firmly behind me, which I thought was decent of him, you know. Not saying he would have got past me, but, you know, he's got nothing to fight for, as in I've got everything to fight for, as I said earlier, so, no, I loved it, but I've got everything to do now, haven't I? It's all right starting from the front, isn't it? No one else in front of you can do what you want to do. And now I've got to start from the back, I've got to worry about what other people's cars are doing, different lines, so it goes in the second one, but no, I'm well chuffed. Really am.
You said you liked the wet, but Steve managed to hold you off, or were you being kind to him?
Showman, innit, you know what I mean? if you get on his bumper, he panics a bit, you know. So I just sat back and just entertaining the crowd, really broadside, you know. It was good.
He said he didn't think you could get past anyway.
I mean, you know, he was quick. He had a good a good line off the bottom bend there. I mean, he was quick off the bottom bend, but I weren't really too bothered, to be honest, you know. Just tool around, it's good.
Starting where we did on the grid, it was good. The ducks on the back of the car, that's the wet. We love the wet. We had a real good race with Pete Moulton. It was a fantastic race. Let's hope it rains for the next one.
You prefer the wet conditions, do you?
Yeah, because we've had a few engine problems. It's a bit kinder to the engine, especially on this track where you're flat out for a lot of the time.
How is the track? You enjoying it?
Yeah, it's slippery, but that's what Legends is all about, sideways.
Now, what about the chances of you getting into the top 3?
I don't know. I haven't seen the points today, so that's what we're aiming for, try to get back up in the top 3.
Visibility was a bit poor, but you could see generally where you wanted to go. But after Redgate, first corner, I got in a bit of contact with John, and it was his back to my front. So it sent my toe in, toe out of this world. It's like literally pointing in different directions. So I found it very hard to actually steer the car in any direction, especially down the Craner curves. It just wouldn't go in a straight line. So I had to ease off at every corner. But on top of that, we then found a huge vibration. I was going along, and it's literally shaking me to bits. And several times it was going to pull off. But I thought, no, got to keep going. I've got to get these points. I was in 9th place. That's 90 points. So I thought, right, just keep going and keep praying that it stays together, and it did.
Chris, not what you would have hoped for, I'm sure, in the first race. Tell us what happened.
Not really. I mean, I come here hoping just to complete 3 races, really. I mean, I've had a real good season. I mean, I'm on the pace now, so I'm ready for next year. I mean, I went out in practice just taking it steady, and the car felt good, engine felt good, you know, no problem. Did about half a lap. I did have a knock thinking about it now, but I didn't put the misfire down to it. I've just got a real bad misfire that, you know, you just can't trace.
Well, while he sorts that out, let's look at the championship standings with that first race at Donington completed. The gap now between second and third is just 175 points, equivalent to a second place. Simon Durrell drops 1 spot, Gary Thomas moves up to 4th. So that victory for Steve Thompson and the not-so-good finish from John Mickle means that the fight for second in the championship is still very much alive. Join us next week to see the final, concluding episode.